Today's episode is brought to you by Mazars.
SoundCartel.
From SoundCartel, I'm Nicole Goodman, and this is Business Essentials Daily. By now, you would have heard of ChatGPT. If not, then hold on to your hat. Its impact is going to be tectonic. Already, public schools in the state of New York have banned it because of its ability to generate text responses that are uncannily human-like. According to Steve Sammartino, if your business or industry uses words, you will be impacted. Steve is a futurist, author and television host of The Rebound on Channel 9. He's also a glass-half-full kind of guy. He sees extraordinary potential with this kind of technology, something that's going to change the world. So what is ChatGPT exactly? Steve Sammartino explains to Chris Ashmore.
ChatGPT is what's known as a large language model, which can use predictive text to give you answers to questions. So it trains on incredibly large databases. And the way it works is quite curious. It uses a probability of what the next word should be, and it assesses that, and then it structures sentences. So it works, we think, pretty differently to the way humans work. But what it does is it gives human-like outcomes to the questions that you ask it, or we use the word prompts.
How does it differ, say, from Siri or Google Home?
I think they're also large language models, but this is the first one that really has sparked everyone's imagination because it can answer such complex questions. And it feeds on the filing cabinet, which is all of human knowledge, which is on the internet. Because that's what the internet is, a giant filing cabinet of all the things that humans have made, created, photos, videos. And it's got a larger database to train on. And so it's an extension of that model. So just think about Siri and Cortana and Google Home and Alexa all being sort of Model T Fords. This one here's the Ferrari.
Well, it's taken the world by storm. There's so much media coverage about it. Should we be worried about it?
I don't think we should be worried. It really behaves differently to the way humans behave. When you experiment with it, artificial intelligence just has a different way of doing things. And the one thing to stop people worrying with artificial intelligence is that, well, there's two things. The first one is artificial intelligence doesn't know anything. It doesn't understand. It can give you an answer, but it doesn't know what it is. It doesn't have fundamental understanding or consciousness. A simple example is that you can show a 2-year-old kid what a cat is just with one cat, and it'll know forever after everything that is a cat and understand what a cat is and what a cat does. There's actually an artificial intelligence engine on the web called Is This a Cat? Can you believe that? Of course you can. It's the internet. That's what the internet does. The internet is about cats. And you put in a picture there of any picture that you find, it'll tell you whether or not it's a cat. I did some experiments with that once and put in soft toys of a cat. And it doesn't think it's a cat because it can't match the imagery of a soft toy cat. But you give that to a kid and he could go, that's a cat. So this is just a quirky example that artificial intelligence is different. And now the second part of why we shouldn't worry is that the artificial intelligence is an augmentation of humans. I actually think it's the way our species is evolving. It's akin to chimpanzees climbing down from the tree, walking on 2 feet across the savannah. And what we're doing is evolving outside of our bodies to create like a neural network for ourselves so that we can cope with the modern world. And eventually, I think we'll merge with the machines with BMIs, brain-machine interfaces. And in many ways, the phone is already a brain-machine interface. That's why we can't put it down. It's not that we're addicted to it. It's actually part of our body now. I think that we're using external elements to extend our own bodies.
Mazars is an international audit, tax and advisory firm committed to helping clients confidently build and grow their businesses. Move forward with Mazars. Visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.
Well, for businesses, how does the technology help them in a practical sense?
Yeah, so I've experimented a lot with it, and it really is extraordinary. The way it helps you with a practical sense is, I really like the word prompt. So sometimes when you're going to create, let's say you're writing a blog post for your business or some copywriting for your webpage, or you need to write a proposal for a new client, you go in there and ask it, and it'll give you in mere seconds as many words as you want, 1,000 words, 10,000 words. It can give you a sample of what you want. Now, it doesn't come back perfectly, and it comes back a bit, let's use the word dry. A lot of it comes back like a year 9 person who got asked to write an essay on the Vietnam War. It's like they've read books and put little bits and pieces together. It's not very creative or human. It doesn't have an edge to it. But it's a great way to get the crux of something really quick. Get it to that 80% level where you've got everything you need in front of you, and then you've just got to craft it and curate it. So anything, literally anything that involves writing in your business that you might have got someone else to do or spent a lot of time on, you can just go there and put it in. I'll give you an example. I do keynote speeches, and I was trying to define what my keynote speech was like in 100 words. So I put in some key things into GPT and said, give me a summary of a keynote speech that covers these topics. And it spit one back. It was a bit dry. Then I said, make it sound like a movie trailer. And it came back and it was amazing. I was like, I couldn't have written it that good. And that's the key to the prompts. You don't just give it one. You've got to prompt it, and then you've got to say, now make it do this. Now make it do that. Then remove this word. Now make it shorter. Make it sound more exciting. So it's really great. And what you need to do is you need to train it and curate it.
Well, this technology behind ChatGPT, it's been around just a few months now, pretty much at the early stages, even though it's doing incredible things. But what about the future? What do you see the future with this and other AI technology?
There's a few. First one is it's going to really democratize creating digital products, not just the writing. So I was working yesterday with a colleague, and we got ChatGPT to write some code for us. We literally said, write in PHP some code which does the following, and it spat it out. And then you can say, show me how to load that up on the internet if you don't even know how to get it up on there. So all of a sudden, everyone becomes a coder. Everyone literally can write their own software packages. That's extraordinary. That's like everyone being able to drive a car for the first time, because the internet has been this place where there's the gods who know how to develop and we're all their serfs. So that's a shift. Another one is search engines change. So search engines go from being finding things human made. Search engines become creation engines. So when we go to the web, we're looking for something. You might be looking for some work that someone's done. Now you go to the internet and you say, create me something. So that's a really big shift, because when you try to find something, it's what someone else done. Now you can just say, make me this thing. And then eventually when OpenAI, who owns ChatGPT, put DALL-E together, which is their image generation engine, you could go there and say, make me a 5-minute animated movie in Disney style starring a 13-year-old girl who saves the world. And then it puts those two things together and creates a movie for you to watch with your child about her starring in it. So it's really going to change so many things. I mean, for me, really, honestly, this is the most exciting thing since the graphical web came along in the early 90s. It really is extraordinary.
So watch this space.
Definitely. And play in the space. Don't just watch. Get in there. Ask it to write poems, do things, write code, give you a spreadsheet, give you a budget, do it. Ask it to do stuff. And then your imagination goes in angles, because your life experience gives you the angles that you can ask it. And then you'll see all the things I've been speaking about working with it.
That was futurist Steve Sammartino. If you want to check it out for yourself, visit openai.com. The link is also in the show notes of this episode. This episode of Business Essentials Daily is produced by the team at SoundCartel. Thanks for listening. I'm Nicole Goodman. We'll bring you more Be Daily tomorrow. Follow @BE Daily Podcast across social media and head to bedaily.com.au for more from the Business Essentials Daily podcast. SoundCartel. This episode was brought to you by Mazars. To find out more, visit mazars.com.au. That's mazars.com.au.